say hello if you're watching on the replay or you're on there. That's great. It's Team Transformers. We're excited to always be together. We started this at the beginning of Corona. It's almost been a year of Lunch and Learns. They're on YouTube also under Team Transformers. If you ever go on a long drive, you want to just play one after the other. Anyway, I'm excited about our topic today, but I think Doug could open us up with sharing about our new CEO of the Juice Plus company and how she's going to bring us into the next 5 years of doubling our growth.
Okay.
Very exciting news.
Did you guys catch that email? You should have gotten an email. And so basically, so Paulo, who's our former CEO, is now going to be like president of the board or something, which is nice because that'll be some stability. He's still kind of around, but he's stepping down from the main CEO role. So the person that we're getting is a woman named Stuart. I forget her last name. Unusual first name, Stuart, but she's has some great experience. She comes to us directly from Beyond Meat. She was at Beyond Meat most recently as the president of marketing, and they've been moving quite a bit. You see them increasing their presence globally, having great partnerships with whether it's fast food or other things. They're all over the place. You notice the different products and stuff. Anyway, she's in charge of all that marketing expansion type stuff. And that was only though for about maybe 2 years. Before that, she's done like over 10 years with the Coca-Cola company. She was a vice president of marketing.
I think she did 20.
Yeah, 20 years actually. Yeah. So the cool thing is like, other than Nike, I mean, Coca-Cola is right up there with Nike as some of the best branding that there is in the world. If you think about Coca-Cola commercials, they're always among the leaders, like Super Bowl. But then remember that in addition to Coca-Cola, there's all these different brands. You got Sprite, you got all the different fizzy drinks. You got, I think, LaCroix, or are they separate? What? Dasani, water. No, she only did sparkling drinks.
I know, but
she wasn't on the water.
I had to mention that.
But yeah, actually, she may have done the sports drinks too. Anyway, so the bottom line is this: she's a big deal. She's a big deal. And my favorite little inside quote that we're live on Facebook.
Yeah, you can. No inside quotes.
Come on, one pause.
No.
Okay. Anyway,
put it in the chat.
Oh yeah.
Allowable, yes.
I will, but I'm in the middle of a direct message to Sandy too, so pay attention, Sandy. So I think it's going to be really great. At first, I was a little scared, and I'm like, "This is a marketing person. What's going to go on?" But the 3 major areas, Julie and the founders got to speak to her for like an hour and a half yesterday, and Julie and Joel were just like overjoyed. They not that they want to get specific about any issues they've had, but they feel very strongly that this is going to help all things a lot. Her 3 areas of focus, as she said to the founders, are technology, yes, because we're definitely behind. The other area was in the area of marketing, and I'll get back to that in a second. And the second area is communication. So we know, and we think of communication could be better with us, but she was also talking about home office communication, like the different departments are really siloed. And I think that's how we end up with certain problems. Like we might have a technology thing happening, but then the payment thing isn't working and the sign up thing doesn't work. And how does it all relate? Well, she's going to bring it all together. And like Joel said, it's really important to have people that know what the best looks like. So if you've spent 20 years in the Coca-Cola area, I mean, that's pretty awesome. I mean, Janet's pretty great and everything, but she came from Avon, I think, right? And Avon isn't exactly at the top of the pinnacle. It's kind of an older company. I don't hear that much from Avon lately. They're not moving and shaking. So Coca-Cola is definitely a mover and shaker, and it's super. So in the area of marketing, which is pretty cool, she was talking about, and I don't know, Gabby, you might be able to speak to this, but she was talking about millennials and our product and the business, because some people, because she was talking about our marketing and how the marketing is kind of outdated. In that, I know we've updated it recently, but it still doesn't really have the latest type of an appropriate look. And marketing is not just the way things look, but it's also the verbiage and the catchphrases we use. So when you think of things like "just do it" or Apple "think different," or what is Coca-Cola? I mean, they have some of the best. What is it? It's the real thing.
The real thing, baby.
It's the real thing, man. You want a Coke? You want a soda? What are you gonna have?
And
A
a
Pepsi?
smile.
No, I want the real thing.
Smile.
I want the real Coke. So we have some nice things, but when you think of things like "live the mission," not that that's officially from our company, but some of the other phrases we've had, it's just not that great or attractive. So, and she was mentioning about, because some of the NMDs might be like, oh, well,
It
we
was
want
be
to,
the plus.
be the plus.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah. I mean, what does that even mean to anybody? You know what I mean? So it's like, instead of putting us in a situation where we can go after like a younger market as our company transitions to the next 20 years, she's saying that the goal isn't to be able to go after a certain demographic. The goal is to have your product be attractive to that demographic so they come to you. So it shouldn't be like, I'm trying to sell Gabby because she's 20 something on coming with our company. She could look at what our company's doing and show it to her friends, and they're like, oh, dang, let's do this. So that's going to be more of the focus, which is pretty cool because I think that's where a lot of the innovative companies are. They are innovating and changing. And so it sounds like it's really, really good and really, really positive. Does anybody have any questions? It doesn't really affect us, although it does in a huge way.
Oh, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be super good. So, just to be clear, I mean, Paolo and everybody brought us to where we are, and it was double growth in the last 5 years. This lady's coming in to add that extra oomph. So, Paolo said, we can invest in technology, invest in these other things, but we want to invest in people who can bring us to the next level. So it's pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty admirable what all she's done, and she's going to be super smart and systemized. She's going to be about systems, which we're about, and we're getting better.
Yeah, she started mentioning systems and stuff early on. Like it was like, oh my gosh. She's like okay. So imagine, I know you're probably thinking it's hard to wrap your mind around. What is she even talking about? Here's an example I just thought of. She was talking to Julie and them about how, like when a new partner starts up, how it's always like we're trying to figure out, like, okay, new person startup, what do we do? What do we do? Okay, well, we go to the Freedom Revolution. Well, that's like a third-party website designed by like Brian Rose and some other people. It's like, and then so the company you sign up with the company, you get an email. It kind of has some stuff, but then there's also the Freedom Revolution, and we're all kind of wondering what's going on. She said these words: why do you guys have to worry about starting up a new person? Why can't the company start up a new person? And you just go alongside them with what the company does. And it's like, well, that makes sense. I've never been a job. Have you guys ever accepted a new job? Oh, I guess Gabby did yesterday, where like some guy that does the job is training you. It's like usually you go to like a meeting and they give you like a booklet and there's an official training program. It isn't just like some dude trains you that has nothing to do with corporate, So I think that's super. So having fresh ideas like that, but also most importantly is that she's come from one of the most successful companies long term in the world, and she understands that culture. And she's had success leaving that, going to Beyond Meats and creating success there. And she's been a Juice Plus user for a while. So that's pretty cool.
And she's moving toward a more plant-based diet, so it was perfect for her. She was excited to join our company and get to work. She's been there for 2 weeks, so she's
So as good as, I mean, our company has had great growth. We've had great growth on our team. I mean, we have the perfect product in the perfect time. Everything is awesome. But now, just like always, the company's like looking at what could be better, you know, and that's a pretty huge change, you know, extreme change. So that's pretty exciting. Lots of vision and really setting us up for the next 20 years.
awesome. So, someone who's built a stable and lasting business is Karen Orlowski, who is knocking on the door of qualifying national marketing director. And we're just so proud of her. She is excited to help facilitate our Zoom today. And so I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you, Karen. Let me know what you need. You probably want some sharing capabilities, making you a co-host.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I don't even have anything up on my laptop because I was actually still researching while Doug was talking. My head is, I'm like all over the place with all the information. So I think that if we just kind of make it conversational, then
Okay.
We can maybe pull up what is needed at the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So, okay. So I hope you guys are doing great. I think most of you have heard my story and you can, you know, just mute me. No, I'm kidding. So gosh, I started taking Juice Plus. It's going to be 17 years in May, which is unbelievable to me. And I know, right? I can't even believe it. So I'm so thankful for the product. I tell this story to people all the time that I didn't understand the power of fruits and vegetables at all because my mom was a nurse. I understood medicine. We had a whole bathroom cabinet full of, it looked like CVS, right? If you had a stomach ache, you took Pepto-Bismol, you didn't stop eating the Pop-Tarts and drinking soda. So that was my whole life. That was my whole life until my 30s. And I got pregnant and I had allergies, asthma, I had migraines, I mean, digestive issues. I was sick all the time. It was crazy. It's a longer story. But when I got pregnant with my son, my best friend Barb actually came to me and said, you know, okay, you need to be on this at least during the pregnancy. So I got started and I really thought I would stop at the end of the pregnancy. And I had such great results during the pregnancy. And all you moms, that's like the weirdest time to even feel like you're going to get any healthier, right? Because your body is just doing, it's like an alien inside of you. And it's like the weirdest time. So the fact that I felt better at the end of 8 months and I realized I didn't need my Juice Plus anymore. I mean, not my Juice Plus, my allergy medicine and my asthma medicine, like all that stuff anymore. It's been 17 years in May that I've used any of that. So, but it still took me a long time. She got me started. She says, okay, great. You know, after the product, she said, what would be great is if you're going to keep buying this, you might as well sign up as a rep. So I signed up as a rep to help her, but I really had no interest in the business at the time. I had a newborn, I was working full time, and I just, you know, I wish I knew then what I know now because I would have gone a lot faster, but you can't change things. What I love is that I never gave up. So, you know, even after continuing the product, and I had a lot of customers, I've always had a lot of customers. I was making $500 a month for years, and I was happy with $500 a month. I mean, what's that statistic, right? How many percentage of people could be saved by just making an additional $500 a month? So that was kind of like our spending money and travel money. And then all of a sudden, I guess it was after, you know, I got pregnant with my daughter. I was like, it's too hard to work with my son. And I was missing out on everything. I really wanted to stay at home. So I decided to try and do a little bit more with Juice Plus and see where that would take me. So I didn't increase my paycheck to where my corporate world paycheck was right away. But by getting a couple of team members and getting more customers, I mean, I was making now $1,000 a month. So it was enough for me to be able to stay at home. And the quality of life that has given me, forgetting the money, like if you weigh money and you weigh quality of life, I'll take quality of life any day. It has allowed me to spend time with my kids, be homeroom mom, you know, not miss any honor rolls, not miss sports, you know, or miss sometimes for like a Juice Plus event, but, you know, to just be there, be more present in their life instead of getting home at 6:30 and racing around and then putting them to bed. And then it also has allowed me to be with my parents. Both of them are now deceased, but to spend quality time with them when they were, you know, sick. So, you know, and you can't get that time back. That's the other thing too, is time, right? You can have a ton of money, but you can't buy time. You can't buy, you know, you can't buy that back. So one of the things that spurred me on for today, so when
Karen, I
I
think you left us at $1,000.
oh, I left you at $1,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so I kind of did. So we talk about goals all the time, right, on the Lunch and Learns, and so I just thought $1,000, right? And they talk about the comma club. And when I showed that to my husband, he was just like, oh, like all of a sudden it became, you know, so that is a true thing, you know, that if your husband's a little skeptical, it turns from a hobby into a real paycheck once you hit that comma. And then all of a sudden I hit, you know, the next level, right? I was at 2,000 and then I was at 3,000 and it has grown. And so you know, whenever I hit my next goal, I always bump it up another 1,000. So I am now, I would be able to pay all of the bills. I'd be able to pay the mortgage. I'd be able to pay the electric. I'd be able to pay, you know, all of the bills if, you know, I had to, which is amazing, you know, that I can do that. So how grateful to be able to also show my kids, right, that, you know, there's another way. And my son right now is he's really funny. He is, he's gone from wanting to be an engineer to not wanting to work for somebody. You know, and and then the other day this is really funny. The other day they had Dress for Success. he comes downstairs and he's wearing a short and t-shirts. And I was like, I thought it was Dress for Success. And he said, well, I told my teacher that you don't have to dress up to be successful. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I said, well, most people think that you do. So you need to just play along at school. So he actually shoved a jacket and the thing in his backpack and then just put it on for class. And, you know, yeah, so it was fine. So funny. So I love that we're also, you know, when you do this business, whether you're working full time or just, you know, we're doing Juice Plus, you can show them that there's another way, right? You don't just have to work in corporate America, which just, you know, there's a whole nother Lunch and Learn about how, you know, that tends to beat you down, you know, corporate America, especially women in corporate America. So I love the freedom with this. And one of my favorite things to do is travel. I don't travel as much as Sandy and some other people. We all would love to be Sandy, but I do love to travel. And so I actually have a vacation planned for next week, March 6th. I'm leaving for Mexico. And I planned this a few months ago. And all of a sudden, after I planned it I'm going with some friends, I said, oh my gosh, we just opened in Mexico. I am writing this baby off. I need to learn, you know, about the Mexico, you know, I need to learn about the Spanish resources. And so of course I've had a few months to do this, and the company has come out with more and more resources. So selfishly, the Lunch and Learn today is for me. No, I'm kidding. It's for everybody. But I wanted to learn more about international. I wanted to learn more, you know, what are all the Spanish resources? And I am not an expert, so I'm calling on Nicole today. We're going to talk about the Spanish resources, but I also want to talk about the other international, because I have a customer in the UK. I know some of you guys have customers in other countries. I have a customer in France. But it's always been a little intimidating to me because I try and scroll through, and you can go to the little world at the top. And Sandy, you're going to Mexico. Of course you are. Of course you're going to Mexico in June. You can scroll to the little world at the top of your virtual office, and you can pick the country. But I would open up the country and I'd be like, oh my gosh, it's all in French. You know, I don't know. I took 2 years of French back in high school, but I don't remember it. So it's been a little overwhelming. So I've tried to dig deep and try and find some answers to different things about international business. And I got some really Guido. I actually sent him a boxer and he responded. That's what I was listening to when Doug was talking. So this is going to be more conversational. If you guys have specific questions, I can even write them down and try and ask more questions. But I would love to start with all the Spanish resources. I know that it's on Juice Plus Insights. I know when you go to Juice Plus Insights at the very top, you actually have all the contacts. You have the resources for the US and then for Mexico. For the Spanish stuff. So sorry, I got somebody texting me. So Nicole, are you on here yet? I didn't check.
Yeah, she's on here.
Yes, I am here.
Okay. So you're the expert on all the Spanish stuff. So what I know that just in the last few months, they seem to have really, I mean, gone full speed ahead with all the Spanish resources. So what's the best way to utilize those, where to find them, I'd share them? What do we not, what are the best tips that you've got? Hello?
Nicole, you're muted.
Oh, thank you. Here I am talking. I'm logging into my computer so I can have better and talking about Dress to Success. I'm still in pajamas, so.
That's okay. I made you a co-host.
There's the beauty of this business. We can still be in pajamas.
I was ready for tomorrow. Anyways, I'm ready now. So yes, Mexico, it's a culture that they are beautiful and they're all family oriented. I mean, we cannot generalize, I mean, specific everybody, but in general, they're very family oriented. So to get into their heart is through their family and that conversation of vision within family. And at the same time, is the #1 country within the Latin countries. That's why we're Latin America and not Hispanics. Hispanics is for everybody that speaks Spanish. But talking about Latin America is everybody living in the South of America that speaks Spanish. And so.
Nicole, does that include Mexico and Central American countries?
Absolutely, we're Latin America. So we're called Latin people, not Hispanic. And
Because it's derogatory. She's trying to be nice, but I think that helps to know that.
Yes, that helps. That helps. And so to get into with them, it's within family and everything is family, family, family. For them, they're one of the most worker peoples that they exist in among Latin people. And also they are the #1 population that are obese in all Latin America. So talking about Just Plus, it's like a very.
Wait, which country are we talking about right now?
Mexico, because they're going to Mexico, Karen and
Oh, good.
Sandy.
Yeah, I have a phone call at 2 today with somebody in Mexico. Cool.
And so, and then I'll go into how to find things in the Freedom Revolution. And so, but also be mindful that Mexico is the #1 country in Latin America for network marketing. It's kind of like it started and they have all network marketers products there. So they're very well aware of network marketing for the most part. It may be just sharing what makes us different and knowing that they are hard workers. This will be great for them. It's just getting into their heart through family. Tower Gardens are gonna get to them by next year, which is a good thing. Love your jammies, Nicole. There's a story for these jammies. I've been with it 5 years since Daniela has been born. Anyways, and I use it every day and I wash it. But so, yes, so even if you don't speak Spanish so fluently, or we can understand for the most part English, but going into Mexico, perhaps they may not, because they're a third world country. And although they're like either you're very rich or you're very poor. They don't have that medium or.
Yeah, they have a small middle class.
Middle class, not medium, middle class, yes. But the Freedom Revolution helps because they are doing everything in the same order, exactly how it is in English. So English speakers that don't know Spanish, by just looking at where the information is in English, you can see or identify where is it in Spanish. If you can take me there, Douglas, or whoever is the host, so you guys can see it.
So I just did go there. So at the top right, it says English or Spanish. That's what you're talking about. You just changed the thing at the top?
Change it to Spanish.
Okay.
So if you want to show that to people, this is the regular. Yep. You just go to Español, where Spanish.
Right.
This is my screen, by the way.
Okay.
So yeah, you click Espanol. And then, yeah, all these. So are these videos? This looks like the English. Is it all with subtitles or something?
These are all in English, and if you click on the CC, it gives you the caption in Spanish. And don't freak out, we are used to this, so this is more than normal for us.
I'm excited to share a few stories.
We have developed the vision to read and look, even to go to the movies in Puerto Rico and in their countries. The movie plays in English and you see the captions at the bottom. So we're constantly looking at the movie. This is perfect for us. However, the company is taking it to the next level, and they are creating a lot of these videos in Spanish. But something that really excited me is that if you go to, let's go to the third tab, entrenamiento. Yes. Yes, can you go to the 1, 2, 3, 4? Yes, I think that's easier for you. Yep.
Event, I can read it, events and presentation.
Oh,
There you go.
okay, I'm sorry, scroll up.
It's all the way up. Scroll
No,
down.
no, meaning, keep going. So all these, whichever are still in English, they are making these in Spanish for sure. They're just waiting either for the video to come, or these are still in English, you can tell. Because when they're in Spanish, it shows in Spanish. So you can share any of those. And then I'm always here to support you in three-way calls. And then
Well, Nicole can't do three-way calls with everybody.
well, not everybody is willing or is gonna get somebody on the
I
line.
think, well, I have a question. Help me think this through, and this will help everybody think it through. Because like I said, I literally have a call at 2 p.m. with two brothers. They're late 20s. I think if they live in Mexico and the family travels, they come to the U.S., they're pastors of the Calvary Chapel Church in Merida, where the other Calvary Christian Academy is. I assume that they're doing pretty well financially because they look very wealthy. Like the parents of these two kids are like great looking people, and they just look like bling bling. So I'm assuming I'll have success. So my strategy, just so everybody knows, I'm thinking, okay, I want to build a team in other countries. So I set up a call, and I don't know if they're going to be interested or not, but I'm going to talk to them about it. And if they're not, I'm going to pivot over to letting them know that I need to find some people in Mexico, and maybe they know somebody that needs some extra income, that likes healthy stuff, that's willing to work hard and be teachable and all that. So it almost feels easier because you can't really they say you can do it at the dog park, like, oh, you're not interested? Do you know anybody? And it seems kind of cheesy. But when I'm calling another country, it's like, listen, I don't know anybody in the country but you two. So you guys got to find me somebody. Do me a solid here. Now that's going to be my approach. So how am I going to train them though? I'm not going to rely on you, Nicole. I don't think that's fair. Even in your upline, I'm just not going to do that. I might ask you a question or two, but I'm thinking I got to figure it out sometime. And
what about product videos?
But they're all, that's what I wanted to share with you. Everything is there, and they're diligently working on putting all those in Spanish. And however, they all have them, the closed caption, where if they don't speak English, they can read it and understand it, as long as they have
Freedom Revolution is a good spot for them. Is there a password for them?
Password Revolution, still the same?
In English?
Yes. But I wanted to show you that even those calls that are on Thursday nights, I was impressed that they have those also with closed captions, like the gut health and Mitra Ray and the omegas and all those doctors' talks. They have those. If you go to materiales next to AZ, yes. Where are those? Program Wellness Plus now. I think they're in entrenamiento. Go back to entrenamiento, please, because One Plus is not it. Where will those, I saw them yesterday.
Well, Nicole, wouldn't it be on Healthy Living Revolution with all the videos?
But I accessed them from here. It took me to the
under
Healthy
video.
Revolution. But if you go to the, that's what I'm looking for.
And Juice Plus Insights has a lot also, our newsletter from the company. You might have seen them.
There's still, yes, they have their, the previous, yes, they have their, all the Laura Modelo talks, which one
Well,
on the first week is for products and the third week is for business. Those are all
Where?
in Spanish. Mhm.
at the Healthy Living Revolution.
Now, if you go to,
Scroll
go
down.
back to,
I know what you did. You went to,
No,
I just
never
opened
mind.
it. If you go down below on the Freedom Revolution under videos and it has product information,
single video. Mhm.
you scroll below those and then it says health videos with Juice Plus. Wait, have you gone too far? It's before brochures.
Okay, so right there, videos de salud, right there, the
And
tab,
if you
the
click
white
on
tab,
that,
right
that
there.
takes
Yep.
you to those videos.
So let's remember too, because this could be a little intimidating. It's been intimidating for me for like a year. But then I realized I can't believe that this ended up being the topic right now, because I literally said, okay, I'm just gonna I'm gonna approach my Mexican connections, because how is this ever gonna happen unless I do that? So I decided, and now we're talking about this. So this is great. But remember too, like, you're not going to go into like Germany and like talk to somebody that only speaks German. Like, there's going to have to be somebody that you can talk to. So for me, I know, I mean, these guys came here, they went to Ocean's Edge School of Worship, where I taught one of them drum lessons. So they have perfect English, but obviously they're Mexican. So that means I don't even need to really know Spanish. If I can get them started, they're going to be okay. You know what I mean? So don't feel like, well, I can never have business in Italy because I don't know Italian. Especially a lot of the Latin American people are going to be somewhat familiar with English, especially the people that are going to be like leaders on your team. So at least for me.
And
I mean, you got to take it where you're at. Like, I'm not going to find somebody that only speaks Spanish, recruit them onto the team, have them start Juice Plus. It's just not going to happen. You know, Nicole's going to be able to do that. For me, it's going to have to be somebody bilingual. So to me, that takes some of the pressure off, because it removes a barrier. Like, I don't even know the language. That's okay. They're going to know my language, and then they're going to speak to people in Mexico.
right.
And before anybody gets discouraged and say this topic doesn't concern me or I don't care, I just want you to know I don't have the exact numbers, but us Latins, just in US, we're almost to reach half of the population for the United States. That's how many we are in the United States.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't
And then
even
let me
have
tell
to
you
go to
this, I know
Mexico.
everybody loves Eric Worre. Sharon and I call her Erin. Erin and I went to Las Vegas. We went to the conference, and I'm telling you, it's not just even Spanish, but all languages. There were so many people wearing the translation things, speaking in Spanish. It seemed like half the crowd were from Spanish-speaking countries. So network marketing is very big. One of the questions I want to ask you, Nicole, is what is the perception? I mean, just like, in the United States, it's kind of like you got to be aware as you talk about what we do. People might have a bad impression of it from years ago or even recently. Does some of that exist in Spanish markets as well? Latin American markets?
So what's the perception?
Yeah, is it positive, negative, neither?
It's both. I can tell you that a lot of people do still currently Herbalife because they want quick results. And the Herbalife is, and I'm not here to dash on no and other marketings, but they're extra mega expensive compared to us. So money is not an issue because we love to look good with the minimum effort. And we women at least invest just to look good with the minimum effort. So it's just,
Not even to look good, just to spend money. You just want to spend money.
I believe it. Yes, maybe. Yes.
Not my wife. Not my wife. But
I mean,
the rest of
and
them.
Getting
guys are
this.
very supportive of it. So
Oh,
money,
here comes another one.
even if they don't have it, it's a priority to look good for us. I mean, I think for everyone, but the Latin community is, I don't know, it's all about
So look good,
looking
feel good.
that booty and look good with the minimum effort. So money is not an issue. They may say it as an excuse, perhaps just to get you off or because they don't understand. And that's something that I expressed to the company about, this verbiage, this vague verbiage that we cannot say what we do. Why not? Hopefully they get to come up with other verbiage that we can say, you can, more specifics, because at this point, I don't even know what to say. And so many other people have had bad experiences, but we all do some kind of network marketing. Either we buy it or we get it just to save money, because Monat is done in Miami, and it's mainly Venezuelans and Colombians. And I mean, it's made in Miami. Everything is in Miami for Monat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Monet.
Sandy, help me out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it all depends if they understand what it is. But we have had any kind of exposure to network marketing.
That's great to know. What about the price points in Mexico that you know of? Like as far as the
It's the
currency?
same value.
Okay.
It's just their currency, but it's exactly the same value as here.
And Sandy had asked, how much is the representative fee? Is it comparative to our,
Still $52, but in Mexico, I can tell you,
that's okay. I mean, as long as it's comparable.
it's the same value. Everything is exactly the same, just in their currency.
So what would be like, I'm sorry, Karen, you want
No, go ahead.
I think you've given us a lot of good attractors as far as what people in Mexico might want. And I think that we've always said you've got to go get Puerto Rico because Nicole has family there and stuff. But just so you know, you can go on your virtual office and change the globe to any of the countries that we're in. And we're in over 20 something countries now. So I'll go to Karen. I just want to make sure everybody knew.
So
There's an international sheet on the virtual office with names, numbers, all that.
there's an international sheet on there. There's actually an exchange rate sheet on there as well, which, I don't understand, but the people in those countries will understand. You can change the language initially to English to be able to read some of the resources, but when you click on the resources, they're in that language. So again, if you go to France, it's going to be in French. The videos are going to be in French. And I asked somebody, Guy Debou, I sent him a Voxer, and he was kind enough to send me a message back, and it made so much sense. And then I felt like an arrogant American, because I was like, how come these aren't in English too? And he said, why would it have to be in English? He said, what if somebody lives in Germany and they have somebody in, whatever, let's say Israel, then all of a sudden are we going to start putting all of these videos and all of the forms in every single language? And he said no. And so it makes so much sense. So when Nicole is talking about, like, even if these weren't in English and if they're in Spanish, the person watching them, this is why we need to trust our system as a whole. And there's going to be differences in every country, right? Like, I don't know what the compensation difference is, if there is any for Mexico, but there is compensation differences in Europe. There's compensation differences in Israel and a lot of different countries. But so I might not be able to read the form for the compensation, but they're going to be able to read that. And we know how it works here. So we're going to be able, and like Doug said, I'm not picking somebody who speaks only Spanish. I can't do that. They've got to speak English as well for me, because I never learned Spanish. So you're not going to pick somebody who knows just that language. So they're going to be able to read it, and then they're going to, translate it, and we're going to be able to walk them through, because we know we're the experts here and we know what to do, right? How you talk, and it's basic, right? We talk to people, you follow up with them, you send them a video, and I mean, it's, we invite to events. So I don't care where you're living, all the information is essentially, kind of the same. It's just going to be a little bit different with pricing. Some of the products are different, right? Like I just clicked on, I guess it was over in Europe, they have the lift. They call it uplift. So products are a little bit different. Some of the information is different. There was something else I wanted to say, but you can change. Yeah, you can change it to say English. There was something else. Does anybody have any quick questions? Because I know that.
Well, that's pretty cool. So when you go to the other countries, you can choose the native language or English.
You can choose the native language for English, but again, the information that is there is not going to translate. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So Guy actually gave me, when you go to some of the website, so he said, the country is just or the company is just catching up on, the Spanish materials, and that's the biggest market, right? And so he said, for all the other countries, he said, if you go to France on there and you're looking for a lot of information, there isn't a ton of information. He said where they are really strong is Facebook. He said they actually have more information in their Facebook. And I looked it up. It's not that you have to join their Facebook page, but you can like it. You can like the Facebook page for France. You can like the Facebook page for Germany. And a lot of the information is actually in English. So he said they do more for that. He says, and that they're hoping with the updating of all the website and, the companies, the virtual office and everything, he said they're hoping by the end of the year next year to actually have a lot of the resources that are on Facebook onto the virtual office. But I guess they're waiting until it's finished and it's, up and running to put it on there. There was something else he said too. Oh, he also said as well, which was really helpful for me, because again, I have a customer in France and that's kind of thrown me for a loop. Because even though I took French for 2 years, I can't speak a lick of it now. He said, go to all of Europe is the same. This is not going to be for, if you go, whatever, to Israel. Okay, Israel might be different, but all of Europe is the same. So if you have somebody in France, you could go to Ireland. He said, actually, don't even go to the UK because everything is in pounds. He said, but go to Ireland because it's in English. He said, and it's equivalent to here. So if anybody is in Germany, you don't even have to speak that. You can go to Ireland and you've got pretty much all of the, the Europe information. So that was super helpful too.
And thankfully, we have people like Guy Debeau, who is from, a lot of the different countries and helps us, whenever we have any questions. And also Nicole Fiol, who has been serving us with the Spanish community. She has her own Facebook group. She does presentations. She's now on our story video for Spanish speakers. So, thankfully, we have some people that we can always say, hey, what about this? What do we do about this? And also we have, like I said, that document.
Yeah. So does anybody have any questions? Oh, I know Michelle Fletcher had a question yesterday, the day before. I did call the company and confirm that whatever country that person is in. So if you sign up somebody in Mexico, they follow that compensation plan. You have to find somebody in Israel, they follow that compensation plan. So, and that very well could be different than the US compensation plan.
Awesome. And I'll just add that once you get to National Marketing Director, we have something called BIB. Well, actually, leadership positions, they have BIB also. And when you max out on that BIB, like everybody's got like a certain maximum, for senior sales, QNMD, NMD. For NMD, it's $3,000. And this is just extra money they give you because they know you have a team every month. Okay. It's ridiculous. So, when you have the first position getting the max 3,000 and the second position getting the max 3,000, they're both NMDs, then it's very attractive for national marketing directors to expand to other countries. And even senior sales, say their max is 500, they can go to other countries and that they have a new max, a new 500 or a new 3,000. So that's why it's nice to have other countries to, even stabilize your business. And I don't think we've tapped into it really So, I mean, personally, I would love for us to make sure that this lunch and learn doesn't go to waste. And you think about, who do I know in Germany? Who do I know in Puerto Rico? Who knows people in Puerto Rico? Like, you might not know the people in Puerto Rico or Mexico, but who does, that's in your circle of friends? Because then you can, that's how this business works. You talk to some people and they talk to some people, and there you go. So,
Yeah, guys, you gotta look ahead. When talking to, gosh, I forget who I was talking to. It was definitely a really successful NMD, but they said one of the keys to making a lot of money in Juice Plus is you do have to have a lot of legs and a lot of lines. So think of each leg. A leg is your partners that are kind of direct to you, or at least one solid line. It might be the first one you got isn't doing that much, but somebody down that line starts working it really hard. So having multiple legs, obviously, because we need that for promotion, but then diversifying into different countries is really a big deal. Because I mean, there's a lot of people in the world, guys. It's like the United States isn't even 1 billion people, and there's over 7 billion, I think, in the world, right? So we're like maybe 1/10 of the world population. So I don't know about you. I want the opportunity, because think big, think down the road. I mean, like you guys, I mean, when 20 years from now, I don't know about you guys, but we're going to still be doing this. Gabby's not going to be 20 something anymore. She's going to be 40 something, and she's going to have a business that hopefully has grown into many countries, and all of us. And that means we have people in those countries with the same kind of goals that we have, that are building a business, and you're making a residual profit off of that. So like any other business, if we like to say Juice Plus is in 23 countries. That's impressive, right? Or 24. Well, what if we were in 50 countries? It's even more impressive. And obviously the Juice Plus business is doing well if it's in 50 countries. So why wouldn't we have that opportunity? So I think we think small sometimes. I think a lot of us think like, gosh, I'm like, I only know 2 people that I can think of in Mexico. But I'm not going to think small. I'm not going to think negative. I'm going to think that, in the next, maybe today, I'm going to have team in Mexico. If
but
not
we know
today,
people in California or New Mexico,
all over the place.
that-
We can always be expanding. So think of it like a business, and do what businesses would do, which is to be strategic and like, oh, I'm nervous about, who cares? Have you guys ever? I was nervous every day. How you're nervous on the first day of school when you're in school. Anybody else get nervous? Well, who my teacher is going to be? Who's my class? Well, guess what? I spent 25 years in education, and that never goes away. The principal's nervous on the first day too. It's like, are these kids really going to go into their classrooms? What if they don't? What can we do about that? Nothing. So it's scary. What if there's a riot? I've been in those. Okay, so think ahead, think positive.
And I want to say that Guy the Bull, I don't even know how to say his name, but he's in the synergy group with me, and he gave me so much vision because he has successful team in all these many different countries. And he even went to Mexico when they launched the first conference, and he stayed there for 2 weeks, even though it was all online, just to get a team going in Mexico. He got coronavirus in Mexico, so he stayed for a month in Mexico at the hotel. He's a fun guy.
And guys, this guy, Guy DeBow, probably, I'm sure he makes 6 figures a month. And he's still going, say, oh, Mexico's open? Cool. Let me go get some team going there. I bet you when Dubai opened, he was there too.
But
So,
they all do that. Like when Mexico,
do.
you hear Kurt Beavers, you hear, you hear all the big NMDs traveling to Dubai. They're I'm going to Mexico because it's opening. I mean, that's what they do. They go for a couple of weeks, they get some teams started, and
Well, the more you do in this, the more you realize, the more your vision gets big. So for some people, it's just as their vision grows, they're able to like talk to people more comfortably. Then as their vision grows, they're able to share the business and not just the product. and then maybe in your neighborhood, maybe with your family because you were afraid. But once you're really confident and you know how good the product is and you know how good the company is, what's the big deal? I mean,
And I think the other thing too, right? Because I try and pull it back because a lot of us, especially if we've been doing it for a long time, I mean, like they just changed the compensation plan here. So I'm kind of stammering a little bit, like looking up the new stuff. If you get somebody that's brand new in Mexico and you don't know exactly the changes, you just walk them through it. Like how great to be able to say, you know, we don't have to be perfect. This is brand new for me. You know, let's learn this together. But you can help them with all the basics, you know.
And there's a strategy to that. It's not just showing up, getting there. I mean, you're going on vacation, so you're gonna have some you time. But Jamie Kenzie, she's also in the synergy, and we had a little talking for the Latin community, and she got inspired. And the next day, she came and said, "I messaged about 10 people." She went to her niche, which is what is it? The exercise.
CrossFit.
She does CrossFit. So she looked some CrossFit in Mexico, and whoever came up, she started sending messages, and she said, let's see where it goes. So if you know you're going certain time, like you, Karen, you can start messaging people now, and whoever reply, you know, understands the language, right? And you can have those appointments already set instead. And of course, face-to-face is different, and perhaps the people that serve you over there, because they're very, very friendly. You get that connection one-on-one, and those are new opportunities, but you can go at least with a certain amount of people that you have reached out already and see the location where you're going to and cater to that location, because Mexico is huge.
Nicole, you just blew my mind giving me that idea, you know, because I'm just going to Cozumel, and I'm, you know, going to an all-inclusive, but that's a great idea.
And don't be so much afraid, because the people that you are going to interact for the most part are workers for tourism. So they know sometimes more than 1-2 languages.
Yeah. Well,
So,
that's what I figure. Most of the people are going to, you know, I'm dealing with tourism people, so they're probably going to know English, which is why I got excited. And, you know, again, guys, like I have, you know, sometimes I have team and they'll be like, oh my gosh, I know somebody in France. And I'm like, yes, let's get them, because we can go there and we can travel to France and get it, you know, and write it off. So, so that's kind of cool. Nicole, this has been so great. Oh my gosh. Does anybody have any questions?
I just want to thank Nicole, because I sent one of my tennis instructors your video in Spanish, because he's from Chile, and just to have someone speaking to his heart, I think was so helpful. So I think he's going to join our team, hopefully. So thank you so much, Nicole.
Good to see Patrick on here.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good to see everyone's smiling face. It's good to not be on the golf course where you can actually get some good value.
But it got above 80 degrees and all the snowbirds stopped playing golf. They say it's too hot.
No, we just switched our hit. I mean, seriously, from 7 to 3 every day. It was tee times. They just switched the guest policy. So
okay.
I'll get hopefully a little downtime. So yeah, today was the first day of it. So it was nice at noon to be able to get on here and get inspired. So thank you.
Yay, we're glad you're here. You inspire us.
So thank you.
All right. Well, I'm excited.
Guys, this is just the tip of the iceberg, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I challenge everybody, because I don't really know people that I can think of, like Doug was saying, that are, you know, live in Mexico, right, or from Mexico, but I may not know. I have 2,000 friends on Facebook, so that's where I think we need to start digging a little bit, you know. And
Well, I'm going to go. My strategy I'm thinking through is, number one, I want to help Nicole get into Puerto Rico. So that's going to be exciting, but I'm kind of experimenting with Mexico first, because I don't want to mess up Puerto Rico for Nicole. You know what I mean? So the other thing is this: I'm going with the people that I know are from the country first, before I get to a point where I'm like, my Facebook profile picture is like a Mexican flag or something. You know what I mean?
Can't wait.
Start wearing Mexican Mexican t-shirts, you know. I want to say, hey, who do I know that's from Mexico? But I got to find the right way to do it. I mean, which is a typical question that you would see on Facebook. Hey, who do I know that's from Puerto Rico? Are you kidding me? Half my friends are, I mean, I'm from South Florida. Everybody's from Puerto Rico or Cuba, right? So we have so many contacts in South Florida because it's so diverse down here. It's
I
awesome.
think you could already bite the bullet on that. I don't think you need to wait and see how the Mexico thing went. You know, basically we share our excitement, we share a video, and we follow up. It's not a big
That's
deal.
true.
Don't
That's
make it
true.
complicated.
It's great living with my coach, you know, my upline, although she is mean to me sometimes, you guys. She's a little mean.
He's very teachable.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to catch her, you know, trying to catch her.
Let's get these countries rolling. All
All
right.
right, this is the year the Ferrari goes international. We're going like United Nations instead of just a United States force.
All right. I think
Ferrari de la Mexico.
in Canada. You could tap into Canada. That didn't get
Very
it.
excited.
Okay. Maybe not. All right. Great to see you guys. Thank you, Karen, for facilitating. Thank you, Nicole, always for helping us. And great to see you guys.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Karen.
Karen and Nicole.
Take care, you
Thanks,
guys. Have
Nicole.
a great weekend.
Hi, guys.
See you
See ya.
guys.